I'm excellent today, and you?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for asking. Just a little tight, but hey, nothing I can't handle.
It will get better. You said something quite very nice. Challenges, they seem big because you don't realize how strong you are. And I think that was awesome.
Yeah, nothing. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, no, we are smart, just saying, Anyway, what do you have in store for us this evening?
Look, something, and I don't mean to necessarily make it the core of this discussion, but I've seen something disturbing today.
Yeah.
There was a tender box bombed.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
I heard about that early in the morning.
Yeah. It just made me to think about the issue of, call it competition, and its importance.
Yeah.
To say, I believe competition, it's good for us as entrepreneurs.
That's true.
Because the one thing above all, it keeps you on your toes.
Yes.
Then you can't sleep. You can't think that you're owning the market. And people have always wondered, what is it that, what is the kind of leverage that I can get from a competition?
Yeah.
And that's what maybe I'm going to do it. I'm going to share.
Yeah.
But I'm going to share it in the form of 3 questions that I think people must ask themselves. Is that one of the best ways to leverage from your competition is to ask yourself for what's the biggest competitors? Who are your biggest competitors? And what is it that they do that you do not? Because once you can answer that question, is that you're going to find you're in a better position to can improve yourself.
Yes.
Because then, it's logic the way I think about it. I'm not sure if it's...
It does make sense. I mean, if you are doing something that they're not doing, it puts you at a step, a step ahead of them. So
yeah, absolutely. And imagine if you had an advert which highlighted some of the things that people were struggling or finding as frustrating from your competitors. That if you made it, if you were upfront with them and saying, but my company pride myself in solving such and such. That puts you in a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
Now, the second question is, what step, after you've identified those things, what steps do you take to offset their advantage?
Yeah.
And it's basically a follow-up from the question that...
One,
yeah. Yes. And then the last one is, what is my competitor's biggest failing, and how do I specifically fill that void? Basically, it's going back again to the first question to say, see what is it that these guys are failing at, and pride and make yourself, but don't just pride yourself with solving that thing if you can deliver.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
I would definitely encourage that if you can't deliver, then get somebody who can fill in that void.
Yes.
Because ultimately, your function is to be the one-stop guy that perhaps for a specific solution.
Yes.
So you don't want guys to be, walking around and trying to get help there and there.
Yeah.
Rather outsource those people in order to get them.
And I think competition is actually good for us consumers, because we then get, negotiation.
Yeah,
we can negotiate our prices if there's competition among the entrepreneurs.
It's awesome in a number of ways, but the most favorite of mine is that it keeps you on your toes.
That's
so you
true.
don't think that your product is the ultimate that this world has ever seen.
Yeah.
You have to be working on innovation, or how can I constantly make it better? And getting feedback from people also helps, because you know that, okay, fine, if these guys are saying such and such, don't take it as, it could come in the form of maybe negativity, but find... Don't immerse yourself on that negativity. Think about it positive.
Yeah.
Because then once you do, then it's something that can help you to build yourself to become better.
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks a lot for taking the time to share this with us. I feel, empowered. Have yourself a good evening.